of Christ for today's devotional journey. Today we are on our day 10, which is a title, License to Sin. There's an 80s song with the lyrics, "I'm only human, born to make mistakes." And then there's a famous quote, "Tao lang, nagkakasala." Sometimes our humanity became an excuse for some when confronted with sin. Yes, the moment that we were born, we have the sinful nature in us. But by God's grace, He made a way through the death and the resurrection of Christ for us to have that forgiveness of sin and have a loving relationship with Him, and at the same time, freedom from sin. But sadly, sometimes this grace is being abused and became a leeway to sin. Some would say, okay lang mag-sin ko subong, gamay malang ni. Mangayo lang ko forgiveness kay God karon. I-forgive naman ko ni. But in Exodus 34, verses 6 to 7, the Lord, the compassionate and gracious God, slow to anger, abounding in love and faithfulness, maintaining love to thousands, and forgiving wickedness, rebellion, and sin. Yet, He does not leave the guilty unpunished. He punishes the children and their children for the sin of the father to the third and fourth generation. Yes, God is loving and a forgiving God, but at the same time, He is a just and a holy God. He hates sin, and He wants His children to live holy lives, no longer continuing the sinful life. Let us see sin as the very thing that separated us from God and why Jesus had to go through the cross. We should not take it lightly because Jesus paid with His life. In Romans 6, verse 1, Paul said, "What shall we say then? Shall we go on sinning so that grace may increase?" In the following verse, Paul strongly said, "By no means. We died to sin. How can we live in it any longer?" And he continued on how Christ's death and resurrection enable us to die to sin and to live in Him. In Titus chapter 2, verses 11 to 12, "For the grace of God that brings salvation has appeared to all men. It teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions, and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in the present age." Let us always remember how God picked us up when we were dirty, lost, sinful, and unloved, and how He has clothed us in His righteousness and made us new. Let this grace that rescued us be our motivation to live our life that pleases Him. Hold on to His grace, knowing that He will walk with us and empower us to live in His ways. God bless you.